Hey guys, welcome back. So, have you ever wondered, do I have what it takes to be an entrepreneur? Is there some kind of special entrepreneur gene? It's a question a lot of us ask. Today, we're going to dig into the common traits of successful founders and see what really makes them tick.
And this is the big one, right? The question that's probably on your mind. Am I an entrepreneur, or can I become one? But here's a thought. What if it's not a simple yes or no? What if it's less about being a certain type and more about a mindset you can actually build? Let's explore that.
But before we go any further, I need to get one thing straight. There is no cookie-cutter entrepreneur. The most successful founders I've ever seen come in all shapes and sizes, and honestly, they usually break the mold. So as we go through these common traits, think of them as a guide, not a set of rules. You've got to forge your own path.
Okay, but first, we have to do a little myth busting. There's so much noise out there, so many stereotypes about entrepreneurship that can really hold people back before they even start. So let's just clear the air. First up, this idea that you're just born an entrepreneur. Yeah, that's a total myth. The reality is that entrepreneurship is a skill. It's a craft you learn. So many of the most successful founders actually spent years working for other people, learning the ropes. It's a path you choose, not something you're born with.
And how about the myth of the lone genius, that you need to have some sky-high IQ to succeed? Again, not really the whole picture. While being smart obviously helps, things like perseverance, a killer work ethic, and just straight-up confidence are often way more important than raw brain power.
All right, now that we've busted some myths, let's get into the patterns that we do see. Now remember, these are not rules. Think of them more like recurring themes, fascinating threads that you see woven through the stories of so many successful founders. So what are these patterns? We're going to explore 4 big ones: that unshakable confidence, a magnetic, outgoing personality, a future-focused mindset, and a relentless drive to just get things done. Let's break them down. Confidence really is the bedrock. I mean, think about it. It's what you use to convince investors to take a chance on you, to get customers to believe in your vision, and to get your team to follow you into the complete unknown. It is absolutely crucial.
Next up, being gregarious or, outgoing. Entrepreneurship is a team sport, and building that team means you're going to be doing a lot of networking. This is where being a people person becomes a huge advantage, whether you're trying to find a co-founder or land your first big client.
This third one is a really fundamental shift in how you see the world. See, most of us operate as consumers. We buy things, we use them, we enjoy them right now. Entrepreneurs, though, they're creators. They see potential everywhere. They're always thinking about next month, next year. They're playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. And that brings us to the perfect example of this mindset, the famous marshmallow test. It's a really simple experiment they did with kids, but man, it reveals a profound truth about delaying gratification for a future reward.
And the results were just striking. The kids who could wait for that second marshmallow, on average, they turned out to be more successful years down the road. It perfectly captures that entrepreneurial gamble, the willingness to sacrifice a little something today for a much bigger win tomorrow. And the final pattern? It's all about doing. Look, ideas are a dime a dozen. What separates entrepreneurs is their bias for action. They don't just sit around and think about their ideas. They go out and build them. They are the ones who get stuff done.
Okay, so we've got these 4 patterns, but there's one thing that connects all of them, one underlying mindset that really fuels the whole entrepreneurial engine. It's the one quality that allows someone to look at impossible odds and still decide to go for it. The one thing that truly separates the dreamers from the doers. So what is it? It's risk tolerance. It's that simple. It's the courage to chase something that has a very, very high chance of blowing up in your face. It's seeing the potential upside is so huge that the risk of failure just feels worth it.
And when you see a number like this, that around 95% of startups fail, you really get why risk tolerance isn't just a nice little personality quirk. It's a non-negotiable requirement. It's the armor you need just to step into the ring.
This really lays out the 2 sides of the coin, doesn't it? The risk-averse person is always worried about what could go wrong. The risk-tolerant person, on the other hand, is energized by the question, but what if it works? They're all about the opportunity. Okay, so we've looked at all these patterns and this core mindset, but now we have to add a really important layer here, because the truth is there's no single entrepreneurial type. And a big reason we think there's a type is because of something called survivor's bias.
We're only seeing the stories of the entrepreneurs who made it, who survived. We don't see the countless others with all kinds of different personalities who tried and maybe didn't make it, or who even succeeded and then just moved on. We're looking at a skewed picture.
And that's why this is so critical to remember. These traits we talked about are just observations. They are not a prescription. This is not a checklist you have to complete to call yourself an entrepreneur. The real world is full of wildly successful founders who are introverts, who are super cautious, who are deep thinkers instead of fast movers. The road to success isn't a narrow path. It's a wide open field with room for everyone. So the question to ask isn't, am I the right type? That's the wrong question entirely. The real powerful question is, how do I take who I am with all my own unique strengths and quirks, and how do I leverage that to build something amazing? And that, my friends, is a question worth answering.